Welcome
Welcome
to Sleepdrunk.
to Sleepdrunk, where my nose is quite literally being assaulted right now.
All right, so Alex is at my place today. He is in my humble abode, and
Yes, I
for a surprise.
made the trek up here.
Yep.
I smell a little bit of like sweetness. I smell a very, very pungent onion smell. Onion soup.
Because there's all right. So there's shallots right there.
Yes.
So I'll explain that in a little bit, but first, just thought I'd give you guys a little heads up. So we're gonna start off with a little special secret segment I prepared just for Alex, and after that, we're gonna do a bit of a Q&A type thing. So I put something out on Twitter. I'm actually not sure if I got any responses. We also have some preloaded questions for each other. So without further ado, Alex, let me just pull something out of my pocket. All right. So Alex, what do I place in front of you? These are generally accepted as safe.
They look like some sort of weird pills that like should not be FDA approved.
So these are Mberry Tablets. It's a food additive that was being researched in the 70s, and what it does is make sour things taste sweet, like very sweet. So what you do is you coat your tongue with it, and then sour things just taste fantastic and sweet. So Alex, what's in front of you? Describe this layout.
All right. Well, let's get to the elephant in the room, and that is a giant plate here.
Yes.
Filled to the edges with all kinds of citrus. So we have grapefruit,
Shallots.
Well, that's not on the plate. We'll get to that in a minute. I just used the wrong word.
Mm-hmm.
Lemons that are cut in all sorts of different shapes. Yeah. Limes, some tangerines, I believe.
Yeah, clementines.
Yeah, whatever word you prefer for those. And then lastly, Sour Patch Kids.
Yes.
Which is a little concerning, but I think I get the point.
Yes.
With the tablets, which where did you get those?
India?
Amazon.
Yeah, Amazon.
Okay. And then around this plate, we have a few other concerning things. So we have some shallots here that are emitting the very pungent onion smell. And the one that I'm really not having is a rather large jar of none other than Engelhofer horseradish.
Yes, it's some horseradish sauce. Great on sandwiches.
Actually, that's not what I'm most concerned about, because I'm okay with horseradish in moderation, which I'm hoping is... I'm hoping that this...
Yeah, take as much as you want.
Okay. Which is probably none, because, roast beef sandwiches and not much else is where horseradish belongs. Mm-hmm. The one that I'm most concerned about, actually, I have to change my mind. It's these glasses that he's prepared of cranberry juice, and he added some white wine vinegar.
Also, I will say this is pure cranberry juice. So, like the kind you buy at the Ocean Spray, that's been heavily diluted and sugar is added. The stuff is incredibly sour. This is pure cranberry juice. What's with
the vinegar?
Vinegar sour, right? It's my cocktail from hell.
Yep, it's been described as that several times, and he's not backing off of it one bit.
So I feel like for journalistic integrity, I feel like I have to try all of these without the effect of the tablet, and then take them. So
okay, so this whole thing is just a review of the Mberry Tablets.
Yes. I've actually done it once. It's a pretty pleasant experience. I also have some Tums smoothies. We're not sponsored, but I think it's probably a good idea to pregame on this stuff because your stomach might not be happy. So I think you take two.
Take two?
Yeah,
I've never even taken antacid ever before.
Yeah, just kind of chew them and then wash them down with some water.
Well,
also,
of course, it's like the gum in my car. You either get one or three. There's no in between.
Also, there's going to be eating sound, so if that makes you uncomfortable, you can use the time codes if you're on a podcast where you skip to the next episode or part of the episode. So yeah. So let's get these Tums down.
I mean, hey, I think you could just look at it as some really good ASMR.
Mm-hmm. Some Sleepdrunk sour food ASMR.
I don't like that. Did you pop them both in?
Yeah, you just chew them. Well, they taste fine, just kind of toughty.
Yeah.
And it's just like calcium carbonate. So I'm going to start with the Sour Patch because that's always fun. I like Sour Patch.
Yeah, I too like Sour Patch. Let me go ahead and finish these Tums.
Pop in Tums, we turn it up. Also, there'll be a link to
knowing
purpose.
You, the all of this is a lie. Those tablets aren't what you're saying.
I'm doing it with you.
Yeah.
So I'm going down too.
I'm just saying that you probably laced the Tums. And then you're doing it with me. It's
also,
just like actually LSD. But...
So also I will say that this is not actually a drug. What it does is that it coats your tongue and it binds the receptors for sour stuff and blocks them. So it's like you don't taste sour things. It's like they're just being blocked out by it's like glycoprotein called miraculin. And it was actually
like it.
No, it is that.
That's why I said
out.
Sodium chloride.
All right, so I guess Sour Patch. You don't taste it.
Yeah,
These are the extreme ones.
I'll have me a Sour Patch.
They're actually sour, like a little bit. Like Sour Patch, right?
Yeah.
Lemon. Oh shit. Well, I spilled a bit. Lemon.
Good thing that didn't get any closer to your laptop.
Yep. Lemon. Like, I can eat a raw lemon. Okay, actually. Like,
I can too. I always do it at restaurants whenever I get it on my drink.
I'm gonna get a trash plate real quick.
That's quite a seed right there.
It's a fat seed.
It's like turning red.
Okay, so next up, I'm good for lime. Lime is a nice. Raw lime's actually pretty good.
Yeah, I prefer limes to lemons by a lot. I really like limes.
It's a lot more tolerable.
Like, I'm sorry, but limeade,
it's fantastic.
It's so much better than lemonade.
Still sour, but hit a clem next.
Good bit sour.
It's like the clem half, or just down the whole thing.
Yeah.
For those who don't know,
Yeah,
I can eat an entire clementine in one go without I peel it, of course, without actually doing anything, just pop it. So I only have a quarter though. So I already really like clementines. I've done 10 in a day at one point.
It's much sweeter.
Yeah, this is great.
They've probably been genetically engineered to be that sweet.
Oh yeah, of course. It's like breeding. Grapefruit's gonna be a bit messy, but I'm gonna go for one because grapefruits I love grapefruits. It's one of my favorites.
That's probably the most sour thing on the plate.
Yeah, the limes? Or the...
Grapefruit.
Oh. Grapefruit has a bit of sweetness that goes with it. And I just love the taste of grape. I think it's really good. I think it's refreshing. So I actually got this idea originally from the Modern Rogue YouTube channel, a channel I frequent. They
I frequent them too. I definitely have not seen this one.
Yeah, it's one of their,
this seems definitely like something that they would do.
This is one of their first ones. The grapefruit is just great. I love it. Now I get to the nasty shit.
I haven't had grapefruit in forever, and that does not even seem remotely close to
these ones are a bit overripe. These ones are a bit too far along.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's almost just watery.
So this is shallot, which is just a better onion in my opinion. I'm just gonna take a bit of this. Oh god. And it's disgusting. It's not as bad as raw onion.
Really?
It's terrible. It's a bit sweeter than raw onion.
You're gonna have some onion breath.
Oh, absolutely. After we drink this stuff, oh god, it's going to my olfactory. It's a bit spicy.
What does that mean?
Smelling, my up lower sinus. I'm just gonna have a bit of water.
Yeah, I'm gonna just. There we go.
Bit of water.
That doesn't. That
it's not good. It's not good.
That clashes.
And I think to top things off, my cocktail from hell.
Oh god.
So I want to toast you on this one, Alex. To our 25th episode, which is actually a bit of a landmark.
Yes.
In my opinion.
Quarter way
cheers.
to 100.
That's disgusting.
Oh my god.
That's nasty.
Oh my god.
So this
and the onion just makes it so much worse. Oh my god.
So if you want to make this at home, if you want to play along, we'll have a link to order the tablets in the description or the show notes, whatever. So you can go ahead and order them if you.
And you'll be supporting the show.
You'll be supporting the show. It'll be an affiliate link. If you want to play along, this cocktail is just I basically filled the glass maybe 2/3 with the raw cranberry juice and went the rest of the way with white wine vinegar. It's not good. So now I'm gonna we're gonna pause the recording because these things take a little while to dissolve. So where did they go? So we'll see you once we're high off our ass. So we have completed the consumption of our Miracle Berry Tablets. Alex, are you ready to have a life-changing experience? Because it was actually meth.
I don't think you can do meth like that, but yeah.
It just was. All right. What do you want to start with?
Maybe some bath salts or something.
What do you want to start with?
Let's go in the same order.
All right. Sour Patch? Let's do it at the same time so we
I'll pick the same flavor.
All right.
I feel like I still got a little bit of sour. Mostly sweet.
Yeah. Now, the lemon is absolutely fantastic.
Really?
Yeah, I will say, this is, I showed Alex a video of me.
Yeah, the lemon is, mostly sour, so I'm expecting it to be completely different.
All right.
Let me grab a piece here. This one doesn't look to have any seeds in it.
Yeah.
So that'll be good.
All right, ready? I missed this.
Oh, my God.
It just tastes like the best lemonade I've ever had.
It does. It actually just tastes like lemonade. I could eat this all day.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'd have severe stomach issues.
Which is why we pre-gamed on Tums. I might actually have to do another one because I don't think I fully got my tongue.
Yeah, I don't think I fully got mine either, but it's still really good.
Yeah.
It's tricky because the sour receptors on your tongue are further back.
Yeah.
But you can't just let it sit back there or else you have a reflex to swallow.
I might just kind of pop an extra one and just let it sit there while I keep going. But like the lemon is fantastic. It's absolutely like it's not my favorite. I'll say which one of my favorites when we get to it. But lemon is so good.
Grapefruit?
Yeah, it's grapefruit. Let's keep going. Finish off this lemon.
No, you're doing the whole lemon.
Lime is also fan. I mean, I got a bit of lime right here, and lime is.
Yeah, I'm gonna get me a thick lime slice right here.
Yeah, and so like it's for listeners. Just imagine like a very good lemonade. I was just going really deep into that, like going deep.
Hell yeah, it was excellent.
It was so good.
I feel like the amount of sour that I still have left, it just adds a little bit of.
That's not the dimension.
It's like an auxiliary sour, but it's not.
No, it is like the back of your throat.
Yeah,
because like it'll hit back there because like it didn't coat all the way back there. Like 'cause you have taste buds in a lot of places.
But it's just enough to add another hint, another dimension of the flavor. But
it's like it's a lime, but like it's just so sweet.
Also, the actual tissues in a lime are just not meant to be eaten.
Oh yeah.
Does it wash out with water?
Yes, if you drink a lot, it does clear out.
Okay.
I suppose the clementine. I'm looking forward to this actually. I haven't tried clementine on Miracle Berry before.
I feel like it's just gonna be super sweet.
It's gonna be like a sugar bomb.
Yeah, definitely.
Sugar bomb.
That's almost too sweet.
Mm-hmm. It's like a canned one. You ever had like canned tangerine? Yeah,
what do they call those?
I forgot. Like they kind of
Mandarin
like
oranges.
Yeah. Like they can get like a fruit cup. It tastes like that. That's kind of crazy actually. I don't like those. I know some other things that we don't have here that are fun are like Guinness beer. I've heard is really good for something like it makes it taste like chocolate. And strawberries.
I'm actually not a huge fan of Guinness, so maybe that would make it better.
Yeah,
because that would remove that note of strawberries that has that little bit of a sour.
Yeah. On strawberries, it's just like it's amazing.
It's like topping them with sugar, except you're not.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna need some floss after this.
Uh-huh.
I'm ready to dive into a grapefruit.
Yeah, that'll wedge right here. But like, what we're going through is I'll describe the background of the Miracle Berry. It's actually the 70s was being researched as a food additive, but there's a conspiracy theory that like what happened was that the FDA classified it as a food additive, and so that added a bunch of levels of bureaucracy that the company that was researching it didn't have the funds to get through, and so they shut down.
Really?
And this is a conspiracy theory, but it was done by the sugar industry. Like they lobbied the FDA to classify it as a food additive because this would have like changed everything.
Yeah.
Right? Because like with this, like you can just eat a lemon and it's like super sweet, right? So people wouldn't be using as much sugar.
Yeah, that's like putting sugar on a grapefruit. That's wonderful.
I love grapefruit. Grapefruit's so good.
No, I've seen that packaging before, and I just didn't even bother to figure out what it was. I'm pretty sure I've seen that as a recommendation on my Amazon page. That makes grapefruit really good.
Oh my god. Also, I tried starfruit with it.
I don't actually know what starfruit is.
So it's a tropical fruit that grows a lot in like the Indian subcontinent. My grandfather actually has a starfruit tree, and it's super sour. But like, I found some at a grocery store here, but it was pretty old and nasty, and like it was like clearly like leftovers. So I just grabbed a couple. But
have you looked at H Mart?
I haven't actually. I might. Do I have more of these? I don't. Damn. But so we could have made a quick run, but later.
I dread this one.
So onion and onion-like things are surprisingly interesting.
That wasn't good. It's interesting.
All right.
You have to read his language.
Now we're gonna do the shallots. See, I haven't done with I've done with onions, and shallots are a bit spicier, but it tastes almost like a cooked onion, kind of. It's not good.
It's not good,
but like
it's not what it originally was, but it's still not good.
Yeah, I've heard it works better with. I mean, it does work better with onions. I've done it with like regular onions, but I didn't think I had any on hand. They use shallots instead. It's not great.
I'm gonna need a palate cleanser. That's
actually, why don't you cleanse your palate with my cocktail from hell?
Absolutely not. Nope. I'm gonna have to do that next. But
all right,
cocktail from hell. Here we come.
All right, cheers. That's not nearly as bad.
No, it isn't. It's not nearly as bad, but it's still not good. Like, I'm not taking another sip of that.
I would say it's almost pleasant. Like, if it wasn't for the vinegar, it would be very good.
Yeah, if it wasn't for the vinegar, it would be pretty good. Honestly, you should have just given us cranberry juice.
Cocktail from hell, though. I gotta be a bit of an asshole.
It's like, honestly, you don't even realize the vinegar's there until it hits the back of your throat. And then you get that nasty vinegar...
like, hit,
yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like wine.
Yeah.
But if you were to assume that,
let's
you would
try
be very, very wrong.
Horseradish.
I don't want to.
I'll try it first. How about that? This is it's like some Ingelhofer brand hot grated horseradish roots. I'm just gonna put on my finger because I'm gross.
Yeah, I really don't want to do it now.
Whoa. That's crazy. Actually try it. Just a little bit. It's actually pretty crazy. I hate you can still tell it's horseradish. I will say you can still tell it's horseradish, but like the flavor profile is totally different.
Okay.
Like this is pretty strong horseradish sauce. Like it's still horseradish.
Definitely can tell it's horseradish. I don't know. I don't notice a whole lot different. I don't think that was life-changing.
Maybe not the horseradish, but like it's just like sweeter. It tastes like someone added a little like it tastes like horseradish sauce. Like this is like grated horseradish basically.
Yeah,
this tastes more like a horseradish
sauce. If I were to like do that with an Arby's packet.
Yeah. I'm gonna keep eating some lemons because I love these. Like lemons and grapefruits.
Honestly, yeah.
I think while we continue to snack on these until our also it's a good thing to keep going because you can start to come off and you'll know when you're coming off if you keep eating. But so Alice, how would you describe this experience to the listeners? Like, would you recommend it? I guess.
Yeah, certainly I'd recommend it. I would describe it as enlightening. Perhaps I would maybe go about it in a different fashion so it wasn't so worrying. I mean, I might as well have been blindfolded. Like, all right, just imagine, right? You're over at some slight. You will. I feel like you would admit that you're slightly eccentric.
A little bit. Over
at his apartment, and I'm just kind of watching him cut up various citruses and, just collect various other sour. Like I did make the connection that everything was sour or somewhat sour, or just had at least a strong flavor to it. Just collect other liquids and things to be consumed.
Mm-hmm. Because it's like we're just kind of chilling. We're like, oh, it's just record while like the sun's still up and it's hot outside. We're gonna skate later, and so I just kind of like, oh yeah, I have to cut everything else. So I went and just hopped in my kitchen, grabbed my brand new kitchen knife, which I'll talk about during Discussion Avenue, and just cut up some stuff. Some lemons, some limes, some grapefruit. Oh my god, the limes are so good. And so I think the pack of 10, it's like $16, which it's not cheap, but I feel like it's also something that's relatively accessible. Like I think most people could try this like once. Like it's not something I would do all the time. Like,
right? Yeah.
Like every month, but like every now and then, just for fun, get some sour stuff together.
No, just like every night for dinner.
you just heap of lemons.
You just gather a plate like this, and you just take one of those tablets. What about this?
Oh yeah, that's some Italian ice. That stuff's not even that sour. But here, I'll go grab some forks, and we can get into those.
I feel like I might already be coming off of it a little bit. I did take a swig of water, so.
Now, as we open up our packages of Italian ice, I say, why don't we... Actually, first off, get some of this Italian ice ASMR. So for those who don't know, the best way to eat Italian ice is to use a fork and scratch the surface. And then scoop it up. Oh, wow. Just like sugar water. It's like sugar ice.
Yeah.
It's just like sugary ice.
There's nothing sour about it.
Yeah. Because this stuff wasn't that sour to begin with, so I'm all over the place.
This is an interesting method of eating it.
It works so well.
I would just dig my fork into it.
So, because like that way, like the actual texture becomes better, in my opinion.
Fair. Couldn't you also just do this with the edge of a spoon, though?
Yeah, you could, but I found this works a bit better.
I mean, like, because you just sort of do that. I mean, you can also do that with a fork, too, I guess.
I just find that using the fork was better. So, crap. I lost one. So, having acquired our Italian ice to consume as we continue to discuss things, I think it's time we grab the cooler of chat from the unsuspecting fellow of debate, which is happening on the corner of Discussion Avenue.
Yeet. Alrighty.
I gotta
just lifting that dude's Yeti.
Alright, so Alex, as we continue to eat, how is the past? It's been a little while since we've done Discussion Avenue.
It's just been a week.
It has been a week.
We did extra long Discussion Avenue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. How's your week been?
My week has been interesting. Unfortunately, one of the things that made it a little interesting is not something that I'm prepared to go into on the show.
Yeah.
Right now.
Because it's developing, I guess.
Yeah, it's developing. Like if the story develops anymore, maybe I'll talk about it.
Alex has actually started dealing meth.
Yeah.
And yeah.
But I mean, hey, it's a D tier drug.
D tier. It's not F tier. I ain't heroin.
Got to pay the bills somehow.
Mm-hmm. Hosting ain't cheap.
And people, they'll be willing to share things like Sleep Drunk with me because I'm not an F tier dealer.
Mm-hmm.
How long is that joke going to keep going?
Until it dies.
It's been there a while.
And you know what? Just every now and then, come back up.
So, let me see. When did we record?
I believe Wednesday.
I don't even know what happened on Wednesday. Well,
that was Wednesday evening.
I don't know. Not a whole lot has gone on in the last week. My AC died in my car. So again. It's died many times. It was dead when we bought the car. We thought it was just going to be a simple fix, and we've done a lot of work to that AC already. So really, the important facts there. Earlier this summer, like in May, we brought it to a guy that we know that runs a repair shop, and generally we just have him inspect our cars because like most repairs we just do ourselves. You know, changing oil, switching headlights, that kind of stuff. I mean, it's not hard to just do yourself. But messing with the AC is one of those things. It's just a real pain in the rear.
It's quite finicky.
It is. It's finicky, and it requires if you want to have any ease in the process, you kind of have to have your car in a lift.
Yeah,
and that's not exactly something that your average person has in their garage.
You just kind of have a lift, you know, just kind of like
my dad's gonna have a lift, he claims, and his retirement garage. Huh. But we took it down there for him to look at the AC, and the problem is that it leaks refrigerant. But he couldn't find any leaks, so he put new refrigerant in it after it all had leaked out, pressurized the system again, and he also put a dye in the refrigerant so that he could trace where the leak was coming from. Well, it actually lasted surprisingly long, and it just died basically a week ago. And we took it back down there, and he said that the compressor has an internal seal that's kind of blown, and that's something that can't really be replaced. So the whole compressor itself has to be replaced, and a whole bunch of other things. Like basically, the entire AC system has to be redone. So he was talking about sourcing a kit, and he gave us what I still feel like is a rather insane quote of $1,375 to replace the AC system in the car, which is like a fairly high percentage of the car's total value. It's by no means a new car.
Yeah, I mean, let's say it's like almost like a third of the way to a total.
Yeah,
it's just about.
Every time I take a bite of this, I smell shallot. And
it makes it so, because actually, fun fact to all you listeners, your sense of smell heavily impacts how you taste things, and so if you have a blocked up nose, you won't be able to get as many flavors from things, and so we're just kind of cutting in some.
I do sort of have a blocked up nose, but like these are all things with very strong flavors.
Yes.
Is that why things taste bad when you have a cold?
Yes.
Never knew that.
Well, that whole system calls your olfactory system. And so it's like your
I knew
nose,
the senses were very
sinus,
linked, but I didn't know that.
Yeah. Because like, like you have doctors that like do ENT, like your nose and throat. Because like, especially nose and throat are very heavily linked. Like I have an uncle or a family friend who can like put a peanut in his nose.
Maybe not the ears.
Well, no. So I have a family friend who put a peanut in his ear, take it out of his nose, put it back in his nose, and like eat it. It's insane. It's really weird.
Yeah, that is.
It's really weird.
Like it goes through his ear?
Yeah. Because like when you get
I thought your eardrums completely sealed it.
It's like another thing root. It's not fully sealed. So like when you're
what kind of nut was this? A peanut?
It might have been a pistachio nut, actually.
Still, that's fairly large.
He's got skills, I guess, but it's like
he has wide ears.
He has a wide ear canal, but it's like because like when you get strep throat, and like your ears can get blocked up sometimes. You can feel like the pressure.
I only had it once.
Or like when you're flying, something if you like blow your nose, like your ears pop. So it's like that. So yeah, that whole system's linked.
So like when you swallow and get rid of it, it sort of opens that passageway up.
It reduces the pressure.
Gotcha.
Like changes the pressure gradient. So there's like a flap or something somewhere in there that helps you keep your balance. I don't know, but as I'm not a doctor, don't try any of that. Don't try like sticking stuff in parts of your body without knowing what you're doing.
Or do, but at your own risk.
Yes, do it at your own risk. We're not responsible. Everything that's been the week for you, Alex?
Let's see. AC system died. Mm-hmm. Every time, like, the past week is always extremely clear until I am on the show.
It's like stage fright, sort of. I get it.
It's not even stage fright. It's just like I just
It's like related.
Don't
I think.
remember.
Like I think it's an actual thing though. Like I've had it like when I perform and stuff. Like I'll kind of forget a solo.
Oh yeah, those are the other only two things that happened. So it's just some work, few shifts. And then we had Monday off from calculus, so I was able to just spend literally all of Monday, just studying calculus. And then I had my haircut on Tuesday. So exciting, I know. And then I went and took my final exam on Wednesday. And now I am officially done with Calculus 3, and I'm expecting an A. So, yeah.
Yep. And so what math will you be taking next?
Next semester, I will be taking linear algebra.
Okay.
And then I still have differential equations and discrete mathematics. And then I believe I'm done with my pure math here.
No stats? The stats is something.
Oh yeah, I do. I do have some probability for engineers.
See, I do kind of want to take discrete math. That seems really interesting. Like, I've heard it's just an interesting class. Because really don't know, discrete math is the study of maths involving like sets of things, like set countable amounts. Like there's no fractions. So it's like, for example, like let's say you have like 5 points in like a grid. How many different ways can you link them in whatever like criteria? That's the field of discrete mathematics. That's like map theory, I think, is a thing. It's like actually interesting, like random math story. Riveting, I know. But during the 90s, there was this race. So there's a thing called the 4-color map theorem, right? Which states that you can color in all the regions in a map using only 4 colors without any colors touching.
I believe you actually have explained this to me.
Yeah. And so like there's all this controversy around it because somewhere at the University of Illinois, they proved it, but they used a computer. And this was back when like computer proofs were still like kind of controversial because computers were kind of early. Right. And so there's all this controversy about whether like they actually proved it or not because they use computers.
It's math. I mean, can't you look at the map?
Yeah, no, but like they have to prove it using like an actual mathematical proof, not just like by showing it.
Okay.
Mathematical proofs are weird. But there's a bunch of controversy around it.
I feel like in that instance it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but sure.
I'll put a link to like maybe the Wikipedia page, honestly, so if you're curious you can go and listen. So does that wrap up your week?
Yeah, I did not have an interesting week.
So in my case, we recorded on Wednesday, right? What did I do? I had a pretty straightforward. So I know what I did. So starting from Thursday, I just kind of hung out with my family. Same with Friday. Saturday, I invited a friend of mine over for his birthday party. We had it at my place because like why not? And so we hung out, had some cake. I ended up driving to like a town near a university, and I just kind of hung out there for a while. That was fun. And then on our way back, get some pizza. And then it was just chill. So then after that, they left. And then throughout Sunday, I was helping my mom and my brother pack because they left for India. On Monday morning, I woke up at like 6 to drive them to the airport because I had a morning flight. And so ever since then, I have been living alone in a 1-bedroom apartment by myself. And it's really weird. Like, there's a lot of benefits. There are benefits because, like, you know, I'm also, generally speaking, kind of a solitary person. Like, I'm fine being alone. Like, I don't freak out. But there's other things where it's like, if you want to, you can walk around the apartment naked, and it's fine. Because, okay, here's the thing. So, I have a legit thing. So I was going to take a shower, but I forgot to get a fresh towel. I was like, wait, why am I getting dressed again? I can just go and get the towel. Because no one else is in the apartment. I just go and get the damn towel. And I was like, this is great. Because I think pants are oppressive, and we shouldn't have to wear them because being without pants is more comfortable.
I am fine with my pants. And I feel like you can agree with me on this one. I would rather see the general public with pants versus without pants.
I feel like there's a transition process. It's like, it'll be a bit weird at first.
No, I just don't want to see the general public pantless.
Maybe just underpants, you know? Like, why is it wrong for me to walk outside in my boxers? That shouldn't be wrong. But no, the point is I feel like I'm advocating for a nudist society and we should all just walk around naked all the time.
Have fun with that.
I'm launching a campaign for some office of government. So Alavi, 2020 is the next round of major elections. I'll run for something. Vote for me, and then we can have a nudist society.
Or you can do that on our student government.
Actually, speaking of student government, this didn't happen last week. This is something I brought up
Are you
recently.
going to turn our university into a nudist university?
Yes. So for context, last semester our student government had their elections for this semester, the student senate, right? And everybody won by default because not enough people ran. And I think there were 30 seats and 27 people ran. So there's just 3. So everybody won, so no one had to campaign. So I made a decision, right? As a citizen of our university, as someone who cares about the welfare of the students, that come next year, should the elections occur, should there be a scenario where everyone would by default, I will run again on, I think, a pretty strong platform. I want to, in the mailroom, I want to install laser cannons, right? Because, I think it's a good idea. I want to divert all shady funding to my campaign so we can look into it, we can understand it, and it come to my campaign. So any and all funding from questionable sources will come to me. And of course, I think transparency is important. I think student government needs to be transparent. Administration needs to be transparent. I think we're going to start by increasing transparency in road markings. So take them from 100% opacity to maybe 5. Because I think what's more visible than a 5-car pileup and a huge fire, people dying.
Definitely, I agree.
Ambulance. People will see it. That's by definition transparent. People are not being blocked. It is not opaque. They are able to see, I think, the beauty of transparency. So transparent road markings.
Definitely, yeah.
Yes, and this will be at intersection. We'll get rid of the.
I feel like the bike lane could be a very good one to start with.
Yeah. Just make it nice and easy for everyone to see how important transparency is. So yeah, that's my platform. If you attend our university, Alavi 2020. How's that? It'll be in 2020.
2019.
Well, no, because the actual elections for the main Senate body are in May. The ones in the fall are for freshmen.
Oh.
Yeah. Freshmen and transfers.
So what was Sean running for?
He's a freshman. And so he's just running in the freshman election.
In spring.
Oh, for election for this year.
So he is going to do it this year?
Yes.
I thought he wasn't going to.
No, he is. I think he might. It
was good shade dice.
Yes, it was nice. I haven't finished mine yet. But other than that, most of people are living alone. I've been cooking more because I figured that's just a good way for me to practice. And also, I can not eat out a lot and be a bit healthier. And yeah, it's been pretty low key. It's been a pretty low key past couple of weeks. Now since happened. Of course, Alex came up today, and so I think today we skated a bit. Got some Chick-fil-A.
Great spots to skate around here.
Yes. I'm in a quasi suburb. It's not a conventional suburb, but I'm in an apartment complex. But
my lips are burning now.
yeah. You might want to take another round of Tums.
No, it's just my lips.
Oh, well, it'll come down to your stomach eventually. Just all the acidic stuff.
I'll be fine. I've never had issues with stomach acid.
But yeah, and so I wouldn't describe it as a full-on suburb, but it's kind of close. It's not a city. It's just sort of an apartment complex in the middle of a pretty open area. But yeah, so there's a few really nice skate spots. And yeah, that's how the week has been. And so I think with that, let's transition to the next segment, which is a Q&A segment. So I'm actually going to check Twitter. I don't think we got any responses because y'all should, if you want to be in the next Sleepdrunk Q&A, you can tweet us at SleepdrunkPC.
Honestly, if you have a question to ask, by all means, just send it at any time.
Yeah. I mean, on any platform, email. Or
it's
whatever.
not the amount of people that would respond to that are going to interrupt the show.
Nothing. So I guess what we've done is that we prepared a contingency in case no one asks. We have our own questions that we have set for each other.
Sure. I'm not a good content writer.
Yeah, no, that's why I made a bunch of lightning round questions in case we run short. So I think I'll start, Alex. So this is something that we've talked about a lot. So me and Alex are both car people. We both like cars.
Sure.
And whenever we talk about cars, always brings up the practicality of it. So my question is, if you could have one car, money is not an object, repairs are not an object, you're just given a blank check for a car that is guaranteed to work, what would you get?
Oh boy.
Blank check. It's just whatever you want, it'll work wherever you want.
Do I pay for the gas?
No, it's just fully. That fell.
Yes,
it's just a blank check. You get a credit card for the gas. You don't pay for any of that. It is a car that is fully free for you to use as long as you want it. It's yours.
All right.
No taxes, nothing.
Well, if that's the case, I think I would go with something somewhat large, but not extremely large. And all right, so I'm thinking mid-size SUV.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. Brands?
Because well, if you say reliability is not an object,
yeah, let's just say the engine works forever.
Because I don't like the look of any of the Japanese SUVs that are on the market right now. Like they're just not good.
Yeah. Keep in mind, price is not an object either. You can get like a fucking Lamborghini Urus if you want, even though it's a bad car.
No, I wouldn't want that because it's just like it's too flashy.
That's fair.
I would just want something nice, you know, but practical. Like it's gonna get me. Like you say, this is my one car, so it
could be an additional car. Just like if you want, this is like someone like Bill Gates has showed up.
Well, I'm thinking
like a magical card.
The Ford Explorer, the modern one.
Not even like a luxury one, like a Cadillac.
I have no
an Escalade.
I have very strong feelings about Lincoln and Cadillac. I think the luxury models of any brand are bullshit.
That's fair.
They're just gussied up. They have a bunch of cheap, gimmicky, additional features
that are dumb.
That are just dumb. Like the highest trim package on the base model is all you need. Like I would get the if I were to get a Ford Taurus, for example, I'd get the SHO package, and if I were to get this Explorer, I'd get the XLT, and I'd get leather seats and all the extra features and stuff that I wanted. Of course, there's probably a few that I wouldn't get because some extra features are just
dumb.
Just dumb.
Yeah.
But I mean, I get like roof racks, like the metal ones that are nice. I mean, and that would be a nice car. It'd be a comfortable cruising car. You have all the room you'd ever need in there. You have all the room to, haul things. As many people as you might ever need to fit in that vehicle. It will do the job.
That's fair. I think that's fair. See, for me, I'm a shallow mother, right? And so I wouldn't get like a sports car. Like I wouldn't get like an Aventador or like a like a McLaren Senna, because I've heard those are just very uncomfortable to drive. Right. And like
it's just not a practical.
Not to mention, there's not a lot of places you can actually use it.
Yeah, it's just something that's it sounds so fun until you realize that
you have to take it to a track. And you have to take it to a track. So I wouldn't get that. See, what I think I would get, I'd probably get like maybe a Bentley Continental or a Bentayga, just because I feel like that's a big car. It would also be a GT because it's comfortable. If I have a blank check, I'll get a fancy car. Why not? I can sell it later. But
if maintenance and gas are covered, I wouldn't be selling that car.
Yeah, fair.
Unless I was just
Yeah. See, I'd probably get just because a car like that, like it still has some power, right? It still has some kick.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? It's got some fun. But also, an option for that. But also like GT cars are meant to be comfortable places to be. Like I can imagine taking a road trip in a Bentayga would be fantastic, right? Because
as long as you have enough room for your stuff.
Yes. And that's why I get the Continental. Wait, which one is the Bentayga bigger? The Continental's
I don't follow Bentley.
I don't either. See, I'm actually not a huge British car person. I just figured if I was gonna get
I'm like 100%. I'm like 99% sure there's a 4-wheel drive package for the Explorer, and I would definitely get that.
I'd be surprised if there wasn't.
Yeah.
Hold on. And
not all-wheel drive. I mean 4-wheel drive, because 4-wheel drive is just better.
Yeah. Okay. The Bentayga's the SUV. Yeah, the Bentayga's the SUV. So I'm getting the Bentayga. But yeah, just because I feel like that's a car that it's a very nice car. It's I like nice cars, and there's nothing wrong with saying like that nice cars look good. But I think it's still just super comfortable and a very enjoyable place to be. And also I can show off because I'm a shallow piece of shit. So Alex, what is your next question? Or your question first?
So mine is it's a bit of a 180. It's not. I don't do well with theoreticals. I guess maybe I could have went there. I'm really bad at coming up with stuff like this on the spot, and I wasn't prepared for this at all, honestly. Mm-hmm. So, just what are some of your strongest general motivators in life? Like, what makes you go?
So this one's I think, first off, I think having a goal in general motivates me a lot. Like, regardless of what I'm doing, if I have a goal, I will work towards it. Like, I think I was telling him earlier how I have logged over 44 days in Destiny, like 1 and 2, that's if I was consistently not stopping. That's because that game has a lot of goals. And that's why I like, because there's always something to keep chasing after. And I think in different regards of my life, it's different. For example, like one of my motivations to longboard is because I enjoy it. It's fun. It's exercise. And also, I guess, in a broader sense, at least for like life path stuff, like career and all that, I guess what motivates me, this is a tough one, actually, because I'm not good at these kind of things, like super meta things. I guess I know I like learning just because for the sake of learning. Like, I enjoy learning new things.
Sure.
I know in the field I want to go to, it's a combination of I can help people because I want to go into development economics. Like, at where I'm at right now, that's the direction I want to go.
So you want to follow in the steps of your father?
Yeah, basically. My dad's a development economist as well. And so I think I like the field because you can live well. Like, as long as you work hard, it pays quite well. But also you can help people.
Yeah, that's
like,
great.
You can really, like, you can make a big difference. Because, like, here's the thing, like, aid organizations are great. Like, Red Cross, like, they do good work. But in a lot of cases, those aren't long-term solutions. And
that's very true.
Yeah, because it's like, here's the thing. It's like, if an immediate, like, there's a disaster. Yes, that's great. Send Doctors Without Borders, send
it's sort of like the give a man a fish, teach a man a fish.
Exactly. And so, like, development economists, and a lot of times work towards helping countries get on their own feet and create long-term prosperity. And it's an interesting field. It's a dynamic field, and that's a field I kind of want to go into. So I think that's my motivations for that, is that it's a way that I can both have a good living, have social mobility, have all the good stuff that comes with, like, being well off, but also help people. Because, like, my family's from Bangladesh, right? And, like, for example, my dad, he came up right around the time of the war, like, Independence War. And so, like, growing up, he had to scrap, he had to help people. And, like, it's nice to be able to, like, give back to those kind of communities, give back to those kind of places. So I guess that would be some of my motivators. So, Alex, what about you, actually? I'm curious.
Well, I have another question. Would you agree that fear is up there? Like, in a different sense? Like, fear of repercussions of things.
Yeah.
I think that's an important one. I think people when they hear... And I disagree with the general sentiment that fear is the greatest motivator. I think that fear is more of just the universal motivator.
Yeah.
Because some people just don't care about repercussions of things. And I think it's not about the fear of just, bad things in general happening to you and just sort of in the slacker sense. I think it's just a fear of repercussions. I mean, that's why law-abiding citizens do what they do, I feel like, most of the time.
Yeah,
and it's just more of a broad thing. I think fear would better be described as the universal motivator, but that's not necessarily what it is.
I think also, like,
I think you answered the question appropriately.
Actually, I think that fear is I think it's a biological response for self-preservation.
Definitely.
Like, fear, as human beings, like, we have evolved fear as a method to keep us alive and perpetuate the species. Because if we didn't have fear...
And not just humans, I mean,
pretty
much anything.
Yeah, most things.
We stay alive because we fear death.
Yeah, or, like, for example, like, we don't with a lion because we fear getting turned into mincemeat or, like, eaten. And so I think fear is meant to, like, function as a motivator in just, like, a base, like, evolution type sense.
Definitely. And it has certainly evolved into not just a genetic staying alive thing. I mean, I guess...
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. I think you can tie almost any human action coming back to, like, staying alive and reproducing. Like, if you go long enough, you can tie it back. But I think after a while, it becomes, like, pointless. So, for example, like, I don't know, want nice things out of fear of social ostracization, meeting social standards. We fear not meeting social standards because in being part of society, it benefits us as individuals, which is why humans are generally social species.
Honestly,
so you can tie everything back.
Not to... And it sounds bad saying this. I don't want to get on a high horse or something like that. I feel like that in itself, that very specific case that you just explained, isn't a very strong motivator.
Yeah, it's not. But it's like, you can make the argument.
It's not that I feel like it's not even something that I like to think. I just genuinely don't find myself to be a very material person.
Yeah, no, of course. It's not like that for everyone. I'm just saying that is one possible example for the person.
Yeah, it is a good example. And it definitely applies, I feel like especially more than ever in modern day America. I mean, just look at the amount that people take out in loans.
Yes.
We're opening way too many tabs here.
Yeah.
But that's becoming a very big part of society. But I would say, and I ask you this question honestly out of an insight perspective, because I feel like I could maybe use some more motivators in my life. Yeah. But my general motivators are just interest and passion.
Yeah. Okay. And I feel like I've always found that, like, those are really good, like, sparks to start things. Mm-hmm. But if you don't have, like, an actual goal or something to work towards, it's like it fizzles out quite quickly.
My problem with goals is I don't get anything out of just achieving a goal. Like, if I set a goal and I work towards the goal and I achieve it, then, that's great and all. But the goal has to be something that I'm passionate about.
Yeah, no, of course. And I feel like honestly, I like setting up my goals in such a way that I don't really run out. Like there's always something else. And it's because for me, I guess you can call it fulfillment or whatever, comes from the process of beating the goal. It's like, I want to do well on this test, right? So I can do well in the class, right? And I want to do well in the class so I can do all this stuff. So I like to have this hierarchy of things. And the idea is that I have enough to last me until I die. Because I don't want to like be like 80 or 90 and not have anything left to do and just sort of waste away. Because that seems like pretty easy time.
Yeah.
And so that's like makes my philosophy with like, I remember while I went to the bucket list segment, is that just like having an infinite list of things to do so I never get bored. Because I feel like, I guess we could say that my motivation is the fear of boredom. Because I know there's this like theory that boredom is just a lower form of disgust.
Yeah, and boredom is definitely a motivator because we fear being bored. That's why, I've heard this from every source that is reputable on it. That's really the root cause for everybody being on their phones or being distracted by some sort of media.
Exactly. Because it's a very easy way to get out of boredom.
But boredom is good for you.
Yeah, I totally agree. I feel like I'm talking like existential boredom, I guess. Like,
yeah,
I actually try and create spaces in life.
Different kind of thing.
Yeah. I try and create space in my life where I can be a little bit bored because that's where I have good ideas.
Definitely, all of my project ideas that I have come from when I'm just sitting in my room
or like in the shower. Shower thoughts are a thing. There's a whole.
I should do that more. I always listen to music on my Bluetooth speaker while I'm in the shower, and I tend to not do that.
Yeah, I always like I started doing that, and I was like, wait, this is a bad idea. I'm just gonna not, and so I didn't. And also because like I did it a couple times when I moved in by myself, like when I'm living like when my parents left, because like why not? Because when I do it, it's like no one else in my family does, so I think it's weird. Like they judge me for it.
Yeah, I that's the reason why I don't do it all the time is because if my brother is home for the day and he's sitting in his room, then I just I don't know. I'm not like insecure of my music taste, but I don't know. I feel like it would should be annoying and weird to my family.
Okay, so it's my next question is a complete 180. It's a very stupid but funny question. MFK, which stands for, I'll say, Marry, Fornicate, Kill. Action Bronson, Juicy J, Danny DeVito.
Whoa. Good. Action Bronson,
Juicy J, Danny DeVito.
Of course. You would do that.
I had to came up with that. I was probably like, all right, this is gonna be fun. Why not?
All right, let's that's a tough one.
All fine men, all fine, fantastic people.
All right, we're gonna have to. Sorry, but I'm gonna have to kill Action Bronson.
You're killing Action Bronson.
I just did it to him.
Damn. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, Action Bronson.
And I think I'm gonna marry Danny DeVito.
You're marry Danny DeVito? Yeah. And I assume you're gonna fornicate with Juicy J.
That leaves me to fornicate with Juicy J.
See, I agree with you on fornicating with Juicy J because I feel like I don't think one can marry a god. I can only take unto me some of his divine energy in a one night stand. I would actually marry Action Bronson because I feel like with his bodacity and lusciousness, he has to be able to like really take care of me and like provide for me both emotionally and financially. I feel like he's a very emotionally available person.
You came up with reasons for all of yours. Wow.
And then I would kill Danny DeVito as a sacrifice to our Lord and Savior, the Juice Man.
But Danny DeVito.
No, Danny DeVito's fantastic. Which is why he's a martyr
enough to deserve at least living.
No, I feel like it's an honorable death. It's like it'll be like an Aztec warrior being sacrificed to Quetzalcoatl. Like it'll be honorable.
I really don't think there's a way you can positively spin this one there, bud.
I mean,
you're trying, but you want to
honestly,
save them all, but you're really just trying.
You got to make an omelet. You got to break some eggs. But yes, so because I don't think one can marry a god so easily. All right, so Alex, what's your next question?
Oh my god.
Like, take a chance to slurp this. We can have this out.
All right, maybe not something so deep. What are some of your most true interests, and how have they evolved over your life, or have they?
Okay, so the first one that comes to mind is music. I think honestly, ever since I was really little, my mom always sang to me when I was growing up. And I actually remember my grandfather visited me when I was very young. Actually, this was back when he could like function. He had a stroke a while ago, so it's like he can't do as much now. But so this was back when he was like fully at 100%. He would say my mom was like a radio because she was just singing all the damn time. Like literally always. And so I would say that my initial interest in music was, of course, like I was like a kid, so like I don't really have any like super deep opinions. But I remember when I was in 5th grade, I picked up playing the saxophone, and I think that started a journey, but that wasn't like a huge turning point. I think for me, my interests were like pretty similar. I've always listened to like a lot of different varieties of music. Like I listened to like pop music. When I was starting out high school, I had my dubstep phase where I loved dubstep.
I don't know why that was such a common thing. I never did that. I always hated it.
Yeah, well, I had my dubstep phase.
I even tried to give it a chance, and I just couldn't.
It's weird. It's not for everyone. It's a weird genre of music that I don't think ever had much longevity. But I think what really was a turning point for me, where like I developed a real deep passion for like making, listening, and like being involved in music, was I think at the end of 9th grade, I got a new mouthpiece for my saxophone, right? And so for those who don't know, when you buy a saxophone, it comes with a pretty crappy like starter mouthpiece. But I got a Selmer SADC Star, which is like, it's not the best, but it's a very good all around. Like that'll get you through basically anything. Like some pros use it. And I think it changed my playing in such a way that got me really, really like just addicted to it for a while. And so for those few years, like 9th and 10th grade, 11th grade, I was playing all the time. Like I was going into it. I was developing myself as a musician. I was learning new techniques. I was learning new scales and all this stuff. And I immersed myself into the world of music. And from there, I think that's what really sparked one of my just lifelong passion for music.
I've always had sort of I've always liked music. I've never had anything against it. I've listened to nearly any. I can appreciate it all. And I've always wanted to be able to be that way with music and be involved in it and be able to play and read it. But I've even tried a few times, that I've just never had the outside influence or really just that spark.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is honestly learning how to play music is not easy. I think like people say for a young saxophonist,
it does require some dedication.
Even if you practice every single day for hours, it'll be a year before you're any good. And for a lot of people, like, I understand it. Like, I frankly understand. At one point, I really wanted to quit too. But, like, a lot of people drop out or, like, can't get all through it. Like, I think that's fine. Like, if everyone played music, it wouldn't be that special.
And my brother sort of was one of those. He did band in high school. And, as soon as he was done with band, he was done with music. And, it's unfortunate, but, what are you going to do? It's just other things.
It's not for everyone. And, like, I think it's fine. It's, like, really, it's a very specific kind of thing.
But I didn't even give it that chance. The most that I was ever immersed into music is I was planning on doing like a homeschool online school thing, which I didn't even end up doing for my 7th and 8th grade for reasons, which that's the whole story within itself. And my mom got me an electronic keyboard in preparation for processor. Yeah, and I had done some keyboarding before, but I had never I'd never gotten good at it or anything.
No, I'm abysmal at keyboarding. I am so bad at playing like keyboard instruments. Like it's not something like for me. Also, if you're planning on getting into music, I wouldn't recommend starting on saxophone. Just start on either a guitar or like a piano, because those are both in concert pitch. And to spare the details, okay, so most music is written in this thing called concert pitch, which is like a basic way of like dictating the notes. Like, like an A is 440 hertz, and that's what everything bases everything off of. But saxophones, clarinets, trumpets, oboes and bassoons, I think, and a few other like auxiliary instruments aren't written in concert pitch. They're written in their own pitches. So saxophone is written in E flat, which means, for example, my G is a concert B flat. And so when I hear a concert B flat, I think G, which doesn't make much sense if you're not into music, but it gets really annoying sometimes because everything sounds wrong. Like, in short, everything will just sound wrong if you're not used to it. But I would recommend starting on a concert pitch instrument that's good for composing, that can play chords. But yeah, I did try learning the bass a while ago, but that kind of fizzled because I didn't have a very good bass. And I've actually gotten decently okay at guitar as well.
Is that the one you had at school?
Yes. Well, no. So I had one at home, but I never played it that much. And the one I had at school, it was fine, but I didn't have an amp with me.
Yeah, there's no way to know what you're doing, really.
Like I would use GarageBand on my laptop as an amp like setup, but it wasn't really the same. Like it's good to have a proper amp. But I was considering getting a guitar because actually while I was in India, my brother's like, he's a musician as well. He plays guitar a lot. He has like I think 4 guitars now.
Really?
Wow. No, 3. He has Yeah, he has 2 electrics and acoustic, and then he has a bass, which I guess counts. But so he's big into guitar, and so I played a bit on one of his. Like he has an Ibanez, which I'm not sure the brand of, and he has an Epiphone Les Paul Custom Pro, which is a beautiful instrument. Then he has like a really, really crappy Indian brand acoustic guitar that he got for $30 on Amazon. It's so bad, but it serviced him very well. I think it serviced him really well, and it got him into it. And so I was looking into picking up a guitar, but I haven't yet. I might, who knows? But I actually got decently okay at guitar because the technique is different. And here's the thing. So on a bass, right? When you're plucking a bass, right? You only want to hit one string, right? If you hit more than one string, it's a bad time. If you hit more than one string on guitar, it's a happy accident. It's fine. If you're playing on a bass, it sounds like someone took a dump in the amp. It sounds so bad. Bass chords are a very difficult thing too, because bass is not a chordal instrument. Like the frequencies are so low, everything sounds all gross and weird. So guitar is better.
That, but I can definitely see where you're coming from.
Yeah, and so that's why I got okay at guitar because I have my plucking technique is bad and I would hit stuff. And also with bass, with electric bass, you have to mute all the other strings. So let's say I'm plucking like the top string, right? I need to mute all the other strings by covering them with something. Otherwise, they'll all vibrate because like they'll resonate with the one you're plucking, and it'll sound like someone took it down with the amp. So bass is not an easy instrument to pick up. But my brother can play it okay because like he started on guitar and moved to bass. Actually, no, he bought the bass because my brother started as a cellist. His first year was great. So his first, he was just in like orchestra. It was like band equivalent. So he was a cellist. Yeah, so he was a cellist. And his first year was great. Second year he had a terrible teacher because the one left that he had before. So when we moved, he quit cello. And then somewhere along the line, we were in States, he bought a bass, but never really got into it. And then also we bought a piano at some point. Then we have a lot of instruments at home. And so then, however, when we came back to the States, or to India, he started getting into guitar. Oh no, he started playing piano first. He played a lot of piano. They started getting into guitar. Then he got back into bass. But we still have a cello just lying around because
so he's just a jack of all trades.
Yeah, he is. But I think right now he plays guitar, bass, piano, and drums. Which is why I say start on piano because the bass musical skill you get translates a lot better. It's not just a matter of reading, it's a matter of like comprehension and chords.
I feel like if I were to get into music, that is what I would do.
Yeah.
And in the modern day and age, I feel like that's a very useful skill because you can, with electric keyboards, you can just plug that MIDI into a computer, sample anything, and you're good. Yeah.
So for example, for my brother's birthday, I got a MIDI processor. And so like now he's making whatever he wants to. He can like make beats and like synthwave music and all that.
Yeah.
But yeah. And
anything other than music?
Oh yeah, crap. We were just like on that one thing forever. I love video games too. I have a legitimate passion for video games. Like not just like playing them, but also studying them, learning about how they're made, learning about all the systems and stuff involved, engines. And there's a long time where I wanted to get into the game industry. And that's still a thing that I have flirted with as an idea. But I've decided after hearing some stuff on the inside, it's not that fun. It's like, it's a pretty hard industry to work in.
I would imagine there's
like long hours, not great pay, that kind of stuff.
But if you can make it.
Yeah. But, and I think that started for me when I was,
Would you
5.
say that it is in the game?
Should we include that in the show note? No.
I can't think.
Don't worry. I'm not even.
No.
Yeah. Okay. No. But I think I started when I was like 5. One of my dad's older brothers got a Game Boy for me and a bootlegged copy of Pokemon Sapphire, which doesn't save. I still have it.
It's a little bit of an issue.
Yeah. Tiny that's what got me started. And ever since then, I've just always played games.
Have you finished it in one
sitting? I've only gotten past like the 5th gym. And that's because I would plug it in and then just leave it on. Then go to whatever, then come back.
Just throw it on the charger?
Yeah, just throw it on the charger. And then I never got past like the 5th gym. But I think that's a start for me. I've always been playing, like, even last semester where I really wasn't playing much on console. Like, people say mobile games are shite, but honestly, especially now, here's the thing. Now the potential is there for mobile games to be really good.
Yeah.
And like, for example,
like there's just a few things that they'll never be able to.
Oh yeah, no, of course.
And that's awkward controls.
Yeah. It's like, here's the thing. I don't think they can replace console games. Like, I don't think they're meant to replace an Xbox or a PC.
It's meant to fill a shorter gap of time, and it's meant to be a lighter thing.
Yeah, but I think, for example, like, arcade-style games go really well. Card games work well on mobile. Like, Hearthstone is fantastic on mobile.
Or board games.
Yeah, board games.
That sort of thing. Not your conventional video.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm never going to play, like, Destiny on my phone. That's just not going to happen.
Fortnite.
About to fucking launch out the window and land fucking tilted towers.
About to down me some shield right now.
Yeah. But I think first now the game, like there's a game I play a lot. It's based on a popular anime watch. It's called.
Before we go any further, I would just like to request that we go and get Mommy's money card number, and then you give us all 16 digits and the 3 secret special numbers on the back. Yes,
and then we can save John Wick.
Yeah.
If he's in trouble, the squads of tilted towers they're coming in,
and we'll get you some free
V-Bucks.
Free V-Bucks for that.
Yeah, I'm 999,999 free V-Bucks. But I think a good example of an actually really good mobile game. So there's a anime franchise I follow, it's called Fate, and they have a mobile game it's basically a card game, right? But they put a lot of work into it, like a legitimately quite impressive amount of work. And so like it actually have like an actual writing team that has an original story that came out really good. Like the gameplay is really solid and very deep, I think, for a mobile game. This is not a sponsorship. If you want to sponsor us, FGO, cool. Please do. I will gladly take a sponsorship from, I think, Aniplex is the US licensor. If you want to sponsor us, fine. But I think for a mobile game, it's incredibly deep. And I've put more hours in that game than I have in a lot of console games I have. Like legitimately, I think I have. And I think it's a well-made game. It is well-designed. And there's passion behind it. I think it's good. So I feel like mobile games aren't... I think they are legitimately the next evolution of the industry because that's where a lot of the money is going. Because it's expanding the horizons. But yeah, so video games. I'm just going to gloss over the other one. I also really like stories. Like, I know, for me, this is like... God, this is really one I shouldn't have glossed over. But I think for me, when I was a kid, I loved reading. And I still do. I don't read nearly as much. But I loved reading growing up. Like, I finished... Like for those who don't know, there's like I was using the Inheritance Cycle, and the last book is like 2,000 pages. It's huge, right? Mm-hmm. I clocked that thing out in 2 days. I just blitzed through it. It's fantastic.
I've always hated reading.
Yeah, I think
well, like just books. That's not that there's anything wrong with books, and I can appreciate people that read books. So, I can completely understand why. I don't really like the thought of sitting down and just reading a book. I think I've been given negative associations of it from school. Yeah. However ironically that might be, because they really ram it down your throat and then just remove any enjoyment that there would have been.
Like, no, I hate reading for school. I absolutely hate reading for school. I despise it. But I think for me, I was lucky because my parents made me read a lot as a kid because we couldn't afford nice toys because my dad was a grad student. So, and so I just read a lot as a kid, and I think that's what got me on it. And my mom read to me a lot. And so, yeah, that's just how it was for me. Yeah. So I still enjoy reading. I don't read as much fiction now. But then even after that, like, I really like games with story and lore. Like, one of the reasons I play Destiny is because not only does it have a pretty solid story, I mean, past years, not as much, but the amount of work they put into the lore of that game is honestly, like, insane. They put an absolutely mind-numbing amount of work into writing and building out, like, there'll be some like random item like, oh, that has 1,000 years of history and it was involved in all these big wars and this huge intergalactic conflict. Like,
so just tons
really
of
cool.
detail.
Yeah, it's
very
yeah. And so it's like you can just dig through that stuff forever. And that's one of the reasons I love Destiny. It's like, oh yeah, I got this gun, but there's so much behind it, and that makes it all that more special. And then I think even anime, right? Like, people on anime, everyone does, but there are a lot of animes that have legitimately really good writing. And like, they're written by people who know how to write and tell good stories, and they can tell good stories in a medium.
I wouldn't deny that. I just think that, and that brings me into one of my more secondary interests, and I still have it. I just I don't really ever pursue it. And it stems from my main interest, which I'll get into in a bit. But I've always thought that the best way to consume a story is through video.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I've always appreciated film.
It's a very good way of telling a story,
and really film in all forms. I mean, that being shorter things like YouTube video length, like actual short films. TV shows are honestly my favorite media to consume, and then movies. But I feel like movies are they're a bit cumbersome, honestly. I get that. I honestly wonder how the 2 to 3 hour movie has even survived to the modern day.
I mean, I think it's weird because it's like, for me personally, right? I don't watch a ton of movies either, but I can clock out like 5 episodes of SV without thinking about it. That's a show I'm a fan of, or special.
Yeah, and whenever I watch TV shows, I can binge watch them, but they're just more malleable.
Yeah, exactly.
And I've never been a big movie consumer. People always make fun of me because I haven't seen hardly any movies.
Yeah.
Which is ironic due to that interest. But I have pursued it a few times. Those being and generally with friends like Ryan mostly. We put down some decent money into some pretty good film equipment, and I have all the equipment to do really all sorts of stuff with video and film. But I've never done anything in particular with it. I guess I'm just
you did our final project for visual culture.
I did do that. Honestly, it wasn't bad.
We made it in like 6 hours.
Yeah, for a project that happened in such a short time span, it wasn't bad.
It was pretty good for the amount of we put very little time into it, and it came out pretty good for the time.
Certainly, and my main problem with that is it all sounds fun until like
you do it.
I like the doing it part until it gets to the editing part. I'm always like that, but I don't know. I just always hit a block in the road where I just kind of lose interest in the project that I'm working on, and that's why I've never been able to completely finalize it.
Honestly, like for me, it's like that with for me, it's like that with music too, because it's like I don't play a lot when I don't have a show to work towards because I'm lazy. It's like I like playing, but it's like I got something to work towards. Like for example, I have a show coming up. All right, let me get the solo hammered out in time for the show, and that'll motivate me to work a bunch. Which is why I think it's so important to have like goals. It's like, oh yeah, my goal is to get ready for the show and learn this song, right? So I think it's like that for me with a lot of projects. Which is also why I think like I've been able to like mentally keep this podcast going for so long because like there's a goal every week of getting it out on time. Which, to be fair, when I was editing, 8 p.m. both times.
All right, rub it in my face.
But
I don't know. That's just never the first thing that comes to my mind. It's just always like, oh god, that has to happen.
Yeah, I'm sure you've been doing a lot this summer.
Yeah,
I've been doing a lot less comparatively.
I mean, I don't know about that. And you've been across the world and back.
Travel, but it's still like it is what it is. But
editing is becoming a bit of a chore. But I mean, it is what it is. It's not awful. I can keep doing it.
Yeah. And I feel like you just get better at it over time.
And when we get back into school, it shouldn't clash with my schedule.
Yeah, exactly. Because you can
because my schedule will be more regular.
Yeah, exactly. So I think is that end of that question mostly? I think.
For me, I never even got into my.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, sorry.
And my main one is really just all forms of technology, and that stems into basically anything. I mean, from the time I was a kid, I just always had some sort of fascination with electricity. I mean, my mom makes fun of me because as a kid, I used to go around the house like. I had this alarm clock that I just had in my room. I don't even know why it was there because I didn't know how to use it. But I just found it fascinating to carry it around with me and plug it in. I did that with a blender that I found in the cabinet. And from the minute that I was ever allowed to use any of the computers we had at home, I've just always found them extremely fascinating. And that's just really been one of my driving forces. And that continues on into... like the cameras and stuff. I got into all the equipment there, and now I think I've really reached. I'm getting close to reaching the full potential with the computer and electrical engineering stuff, because I really do actually enjoy just sitting down and making something myself.
Yeah, I get that. Totally.
Instead of buying some product online, not only do you understand the design process, but you understand the inner workings of everything, and you can appreciate it all. And it's I find it very fulfilling.
Yeah. I think I kind of liken that almost to like making my own music instead of listening to music. Because it's like, I'm crafting this how I want to play it or whatever. And I think I've had something like that, but to I think a lesser extent. Like I've also always been a pretty big tech guy. Like, I like to follow all the tech people. And like I tried to build a PC once and didn't. But I think I've been generally a little less hands-on. Like I've done a few more engineering type stuff in my past. Like I built 2 potato guns, which I'm quite proud of. That made my friend's dad quite upset. But I think I can kind of relate to that interest into like tech and stuff.
Certainly, I think a lot of people can.
Yeah. This is also gonna be another one of those open-ended questions. But
you have more questions. Wow.
But I just picked 3. I think that's a good amount.
I don't have a third. So
okay, well, we just wrapped up on this one. If you were to pick one country to live in for let's say 10 years that isn't the U.S. and Canada, where would you go?
That's a good question. I've always had a sort of a fascination with, and the reason for this is there's a lot of reasons. I don't feel like I would want to go to Europe, but I would want somewhere without too terribly much of a culture shock.
Okay.
So I don't think I'd be interested in going a whole lot of other places.
Like Kenya or something. Like
really anywhere where I'd have to learn another language, because that can be stressful. As much as I would like to learn another language, I think that's great that people can do that. But I just wouldn't want to be thrown in that situation, and I would want to have access to, for the most part, a lot of the amenities that I have here in the States.
That's totally reasonable.
So that leaves me specifically with Australia and New Zealand. But out of those two, Australia gets made fun of for just everything is out to kill you. And I feel like the same is somewhat true in New Zealand, but nowhere close to the extent that it is in Australia. Yeah. And New Zealand, it is a beautiful place.
Yeah. And like,
so I think I would pick New Zealand.
Really? Okay. I mean, actually, my uncle lived in Australia, and he will say that everything is out to kill you in the outback. In like the cities, it's like anywhere else. Yeah, except the occasional Sydney funnel web.
I don't like... I've never been into cities.
I'd definitely say just like the civilized, like the coasts, like the civilized areas.
Okay, fair.
Like if you're out in the bush, as they say, you could get killed by everything. But see, for me, this has been a tough one because I've lived around. But I think for me, okay, I've narrowed down to like I think 3 areas. Okay, I don't want to live in Europe because like it's okay. I know this is gonna offend some people, but it's just kind of a lot like America 2.0. Like. Yeah, there's differences.
Well, technically, it's America.
It's Europe 2.0. But I mean, I was born in America, so I'm from that perspective. But it's like, it's different. There's a lot of differences, but I think fundamentally still quite similar. So I'd pick either somewhere in Africa, somewhere in South Asia, or somewhere in East Asia. And I think out of those, I'd probably pick either Korea or Japan. And not even out of like weed, just because I feel like because of the history of the region, they're incredibly similar to like the States.
Yeah, a lot of first world amenities, but they are a complete like
it's like
Eastern culture.
Yeah,
still.
Exactly. So it's like also food.
It's an interesting mingle.
Yeah, of course, and like also food from both those countries fantastic. Like Korean barbecue is amazing. I like a lot of kinds of Japanese food. I just want to put Hong Kong there, but like maybe not right now because
a little bit of political unrest.
Whole lot of unrest. But like I think I'd also probably pick either Seoul or Tokyo to live in. Because I feel like capital cities are always a good place to like branch out from because it can connect with a lot of different parts of the country.
So I don't know much about Seoul, but I know Tokyo is quite crowded.
Seoul's a little less crowded actually. Seoul is.
I figured it probably would be because I feel like Tokyo is at the upper end of extremely crowded.
Yeah, Tokyo and Kyoto are both super crowded, but Seoul has a bit more space, and like I think both those places where I think would just be really interesting and be a very dynamic place. Also, there's a lot of jobs there, which is always nice. Like I can work for whatever company.
And your experience with culture shock.
Yeah.
You know what it's like. I mean, you know what it's like.
The weird thing is, my worst ever culture shock was coming back to the States from Ethiopia. That was my worst bout of culture shock, was coming home because all the norms were totally different because I went to an international school. And like, the thing about international schools is that people leave so frequently that there's no time to be a dick to anyone. Or like build up long-term hatred or like form cliques because everyone's coming in and out. Right. Mm-hmm. So it's like, someone will be with you for like 2 years and they're gone. Someone's here for a year and now they're gone. Oh, 2 new people have come and they're gone in a year. One's the next year. And so like distinct social cliques don't form nearly as much. And so it's a lot easier to like integrate with people and talk to people and everyone's much more open to like just being chill. And after coming back to the States, it was, oh boy, being dropped into the American public school system from that was a huge shock.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, I will say that was around the time Taylor Swift was coming up. I am an OG Swiftie. I am not afraid of that. But kids in 6th grade were like,
they were afraid
you're
of that.
Gay. You're a girl. Girls are gross.
Cooties.
And so for me, that was oddly my biggest bit of culture shock. But yeah.
Also, just like I got to open like 10 more tabs and get over this one.
Yeah.
Something that's just sort of always irked me. People always like, whenever people refer to the United States as America, people sometimes get upset by that and they try to act like we're all Americans, like everybody that lives in North and South America combined. But no, not really in that sense, because think of it.
Not in the colloquial use of the word. No, it's not.
Well, not even just the colloquial use of the word, just the conventional use of the word. Like, think about all these countries where the proper name has some sort of republic of, or the, I don't know.
For example, like the Bulgarian Republic of, no, not something else. What's one, like Canada, like the Republic of Canada or whatever. I think that's
or
what Canada's called.
The, The Democratic Republic of Korea.
Or-
North Korea.
No, the Democratic People's Republic of Korea.
Yeah, that's right. DPRK. Sorry, I thought there was a.
Yeah.
I thought there was a fourth one.
Yeah.
And what do we call that? Just Korea,
Yeah.
North Korea, and we are the United States of America. No, we're America.
Yeah, that's the colloquial use.
It's just what the colloquial name of our country.
Yeah.
Whereas nobody goes around and calls. I can't think of a whole ton of them now, but every country has a formal name.
Yeah.
And then everyone knows
It's
it
like
as just the regular name that's within the formal name.
Like the United Republic of Germany, like the Bundesrepublik von Deutschland. Like that's the name of Germany.
We all just call it Germany.
Yeah. And it's like, I mean, technically we're all American. Like technically.
Like, yeah, if you want to get into technically, but then you're one of those people that goes around saying technically.
Yeah,
Do you want to be one of those people? No, you don't.
You don't. So yeah, I agree with that.
But anyway, now that your disk space is low and we've burned up 1 hour and 20 minutes so far on the recording, I feel like now is a good time to end.
Yeah. And so I guess I will say if you have any more questions, you can hit us up on all socials, the usuals.
Or you could say, on that terrible disappointment.
On that terrible disappointment. If you want to, I'm just going to pull up the script from, I think I might actually have it memorized at this point. Said it enough.
Yep, so thank you for listening to this episode of Sleep Drunk. The song of the day from the last episode was
Scary Monsters and Nice Sprites by Skrillex.
Yes, it was, unfortunately. On that terrible disappointment.
Yeah.
That's the real disappointment.
Yeah.
And the first person to guess the song of the day from this episode will get a shout out in the next episode. Yes. And you can guess it via social media, email, whatever you'd like.
Yeah, Twitter, it's all there. Don't forget to share the show. We always really appreciate it. It helps us grow, helps keep us going. So yeah, share the show.
Definitely. And so the Sleep Drunk podcast can be found on, but is not limited to, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Google Play Music, Spotify, Stitcher, and maybe even YouTube.
And more.
But I said it's not limited to.
Not limited to, and you're right. And with that, we'll catch you next week.
We will catch you next week.